Long ago, beside a sparkling river that shimmered under the sun like flowing glass, there lived two young swans, siblings named Liora and Kael. They were alike in many ways, both with soft white feathers that glowed in the morning light. Yet they were different too. Liora's wings were tipped with gold, glistening like the first rays of sunrise, while Kael's feathers carried silver-gray edges, shining like the quiet moon at night. The siblings were the best of friends, spending their days gliding across the water, racing the breeze, and sharing their dreams. But as with many brothers and sisters, a little spark of competition often danced between them. One bright morning, Kael spread his wings and said, "Liora, what if we each build a boat of our own? Then we can race down the river and see who sails the farthest." Liora tilted her golden-tipped head and smiled softly. "A race? That sounds fun. But it should be a friendly one, Kael." "Of course," Kael replied eagerly, though in his heart he already dreamed of being the winner. And so, the swan siblings set to work. Liora gathered smooth branches from the riverbank. She wove leaves and flowers into the frame until her boat looked as though it had bloomed straight from the meadow. It was delicate, light, and full of charm, like Liora herself. When she finished, she stepped back and sighed in delight. "My boat will dance with the river," she whispered. Kael, meanwhile, built his boat with strength in mind. He tied thick ropes together, shaped strong pieces of driftwood, and carved little patterns into the side. His boat looked sturdy and bold, ready for adventure. "This one will ride the waves like a champion," Kael declared proudly, puffing out his feathers. At last, the day of the race arrived. The river sparkled in the morning sun as if it knew something exciting was about to happen. Birds gathered on branches, and even the fish seemed to peek curiously at the surface. Side by side, the two swans placed their boats into the water. Liora's floated gracefully, almost like a flower petal. Kael's rocked firmly, steady and strong. "Ready?" asked Kael. "Ready," Liora replied. And with a gentle push, both boats began their journey down the river of light. At first, the race was joyful. The siblings laughed, calling to each other as the current carried them forward. Liora's boat glided quickly, slipping smoothly along the ripples, while Kael's sailed with steady determination. "See how easily mine moves?" Liora called playfully. "Strong and steady wins in the end," Kael answered with a grin. But soon, something changed. Kael noticed that Liora's boat was gliding a little faster than his. His heart tightened with envy. "She mustn't win," he thought. "I built mine to be the best." He began paddling harder, his wings splashing at the water. Liora, too, felt a flicker of jealousy when she saw Kael's boat hold steady against the current. What if his really is stronger, she wondered. The laughter faded, replaced by silence. The two swans stopped cheering for each other and instead kept their eyes fixed forward, each hoping to leave the other behind. The river, however, had its own plans. Up ahead, the gentle sparkling water began to twist and churn. A low rumble echoed beneath the surface. Without warning, a whirlpool opened in the middle of the river, spinning like a giant ring of water. Liora gasped. Her delicate boat wobbled as the current tugged at it. "Kael, the river's pulling me in." Kael's boat, though sturdier, was also caught in the pull. He flapped his wings, trying to steer, but the force was too strong. "Hold on, Liora. Don't let go," he cried. The whirlpool spun faster, dragging both boats closer to its heart. For the first time that day, the siblings looked at each other not as rivals, but as family. In that frightening moment, Liora realized something. "Kael," she called, "alone, we cannot escape this. But together, maybe we can." Kael's green eyes widened, then softened. He nodded firmly. "You're right, sister. Tie our boats together." With trembling wings, Kael tossed his braided rope toward Liora. She caught it, her feathers quivering, and tied her flower-woven boat to a sturdy one. Now, side by side, the two boats became one. As the whirlpool spun, the tied boats steadied each other. Liora's light craft lifted Kael's from the heavy pull, while Kael's strong frame shielded Liora's from breaking apart. "Row with me, Kael," Liora cried. Together, their wings moved in rhythm. Stroke after stroke, push after push, they fought the swirling water. Their voices rose above the roar of the whirlpool. Together, together, together. And slowly, the whirlpool's grip loosened. The boats, united as one, slipped free and glided back into the calm current of the sparkling river. Exhausted but safe, the siblings looked at each other and began to laugh, not the laughter of competition, but the warm laughter of relief and love. Kael shook his feathers and said, "I thought winning the race was most important. But without you, I would have been lost." Liora smiled gently, her blue eyes shining. "And I thought my boat could dance on its own. But it was your strength that saved us." From that day on, they no longer spoke of racing against one another. Instead, they spoke of journeys they could take together. Sometimes they glided slowly, sometimes swiftly, but always side by side. The river seemed to sparkle brighter whenever they passed, as if it, too, was smiling at their unity. Some say the whirlpool was no accident at all. The river, wise and ancient, had seen the jealousy brewing between the siblings. It wanted to remind them that the truest way forward was not rivalry, but unity. And so, the story of the two swans and their boats became a quiet legend among the creatures who lived along the riverbanks. Whenever siblings argued, parents would tell them the tale and say, "Remember the river of two boats. Alone you may drift apart, but together you will always find your way." And so, dear one, as you close your eyes tonight, remember Liora and Kael, the swan siblings who learned that love is stronger than rivalry. May your dreams carry you down gentle rivers, where you will always find friendship, unity, and peace. Good night.